Okay, so now you can see my camera. The first thing that you're going to want is your colored pencil or crayon, and you're going to want to draw a giant egg shape on your paper. So it's not going to be a perfect circle, it's going to be more of an oval. I'm just going over mine one more time to make it nice and dark. Notice how I'm taking up most of my paper here. I'm not leaving a ton of extra space. You're going to want to fit a nice big egg on your paper. Okay? See the whole big thing? If you feel like you drew yours too small, then you can always just flip it over and try again on the other side. It's two sides of the paper for a reason. Okay, once you have that done, you're going to want to draw straight lines across in order to make different sections of your egg. Okay, you want them to be kind of thick sections. You don't want really thin sections. I'm making my thick sections, and then you might see little funky bumps. It's because I'm drawing on tiled paper, or tiled table, so it's a little funky for me. Try to make the lines as straight across as you can. It's obviously okay if they're not perfect. See how I'm making my sections kind of bigger though? Okay, I think that's all that I'm going to do. I'm going to have this many sections. And then what you're going to want to do for each of these sections is you are going to want to put little designs in each of the sections. You could do the same design in every section, but I'm going to see if I can be creative and think of a few different designs. So maybe in this top one, I'm just going to do some arches. Maybe in this one, I'm going to do some dots. Here, I think I'm going to do a zigzag design. Maybe we'll do a little kind of wave here. I think I'll do stripes going the other way. And then let's do Okay, so now I have my egg designs all done, and what I can do is, for now, I'm all done with my colored pencil. So I'm going to kind of put that off to the side there. Now I have my egg. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the colors, and we're going to decide which colors we're going to use. I'm probably going to use all the colors, so I'm just going to kind of go in order like I had done before, and I'm going to do a red splotch, see, I did my red splotch. I'll do an orange splotch. Yellow splotch. Yellow is kind of hard to see. A green splotch, and this is a nice light green too. It's kind of like a lime green. It's a good kind of Easter color green. My teal, my greenish blue. This color always reminds me of the ocean. Got my lighter blue, kind of using this blue. When we did the rainbow, I kind of used it to represent like our indigo. And I've got my purple or violet. And just a reminder, we might end up having to add more colors, more, marker color to our aluminum foil later, and that's okay. And then I have more space at the end here, so I'm just going to add pink, because pink is a pretty common Easter color as well. I have the extra space, might as well add another color. Oof, that color is very hard to see with the glare. There we go, now you can kind of see it. Alright. I'm going to turn the exposure down a little bit, just so that you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so now I have my colors all set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Q-tip, I'm going to dunk it in water, and then I'm going to take my first color, my red, and I'm going to dip it in that, okay? See how it got nice and red? Okay. Now I just have to decide which section I want red. And I think what I'll do is I'll go like this. I'll start with this section. Doing my very best to try to stay in the lines. I know it's kind of hard to aim with the Q-tip, but just take your time. Do your best. You'll probably notice that where you first started coloring is a little bit darker, and then it got lighter as you went on. Remember to just re-dip it back in the color if you want it to get that color again, okay? Alright, so I think I'll decide to do kind of a little pattern with these triangles. So, I'm only going to do the bottom ones red. And I can already tell, looking at this, I'm going to need more. But I'm going to dip it in again, see what I can do with what I have left. And sometimes what I find is that you also just need to put it back in the water, because I can kind of feel the drag on the paper as I'm coloring, meaning that my Q-tip is actually just getting dry. So just like a regular paintbrush, you just need to re-dip it in. Okay, so I'll do another water dip. Mop up my last remaining red here. See what I can do with it to do this last triangle. And if I don't have enough, then I'll just add some more red with my marker. It's looking pretty good though. Seems like it's about the same color and shade as the other ones. So I think I might be good. I might not have to add any more red unless I want to put more on my egg somewhere. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip and start in with my orange. I'm going to do the other triangles with that. This orange is not very dark at all. So I might have to do a couple different coats of it. But remember, if you do several different coats of your colors, you should probably let it dry and come back to it, because if you get it too wet and you're rubbing up on your paper, it's going to probably rip a hole in your paper. And we don't want that. So try not to rub too hard on your paper. And remember, if you start to feel that drag again, like I'm starting to with my, just dip it in water again and then put it in your color, and you should be good to go. Oof, that color is really light. I need more on there. Alright, I might just barely have enough for this last section. I think I'm going to add a little bit more color to my palette to finish off my orange there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to move on to my yellow. I'm going to get another Q-tip, dip it in water, and then use my yellow. Make sure you get the tip of your Q-tip nice and covered with the color that you want. I think I'm going to do the dots in this section yellow, because I know that this yellow is very light, so I have a feeling it's not going to show up super bright on my paper. So I'm just going to almost use it as like a I don't know, just like an accent color. Just put a few spots of yellow throughout my egg. And I might decide to come back and add more. See? For now, I think that's all I'll do. So I'm actually going to still use the same yellow side to do my green, because yellow is part of what makes up green, yellow and blue together. So it's not going to hurt my green to have a little yellow on it already. I'm going to use it for here. And I personally noticed that my Q-tip was still pretty wet, so that's why I did not re-dip it in between the yellow and the green. You might want to just do a quick dip. Make sure not to leave it in the water for too long, because if it gets too wet, then it'll leave your paper soaked and you won't see the color as nicely. But if you're noticing that it's dry and dragging, just do a quick dip and then soak up that color again. I'm also trying to make sure to kind of roll my Q-tip a little bit as I go, so that I'm getting all sides of that color as well. Sometimes you gotta do that with markers. Even as you start to feel them drying out, you kind of just roll and you go on to another side of the tip, and it's a little bit better. Here we go. Alright, so my green section is done. Now I'm going to see if I can use the same green tip to do my turquoise. We'll see. If it looks a little funky, I'll just switch. Okay. Now I'm going to do, actually I think this section would be cool with those yellow accented dots if it was turquoise. See, I still think the color is coming out pretty much what I want it to be. I don't even notice the green. It's just kind of whatever color is on top is the one that seems to come out the best. I am noticing that, like, I feel like when I began with the red, my Q-tip strokes were thicker, kind of like this right here. Whereas, like, as I continue on coloring, it seems like as it dries out, the strokes show up a lot thinner. So that's kind of another little hint to you that you might need to re-dip your Q-tip. Okay, I'm gonna call this section done. Now I'm gonna switch over to give it a good swoosh. And then I'm gonna switch over to my blue. Let's see. I think I want to do this section blue. Just trying to do long strokes, really letting my Q-tip kind of get its full use out of it. See if the color will last the whole way. Almost. Just about. I think I'll need about one more dip and we might be good. This blue is already pretty light in color. I think of it always as kind of like a robin eggshell blue. I don't have any music playing during this because I want you guys to be able to hear me, but if I were you, I would turn on some music. This would be a fun craft color too, to just listen to some music. Maybe Alexa have play some Kids Bop or Radio Disney or something like that. Alright, it's looking pretty good so far. Still haven't quite decided what I'm going to do up here. I might do a combination of colors. I think I'm going to finish this side with pink. I think that'll blend nicely with this red up here. And my pink is, just like my blue, my pink is also a very light color. So I might end up needing to add more marker, just like I did with my blue. Because as you can see, it doesn't show up very brightly at all. This is a very soft, kind of baby showery pink. Oh, there we go. There's a little pop of color there. Awesome. Okay. Now I really just have to decide what goes here, here, and I think I'm going to go back and just do a strip of several colors there. I think what I'll do is I'll do purple here. So I'm going to keep using that pink side since that pink was already so light anyway. Go to the purple. I'm gonna do every other and just decide if I want to do a different color maybe. think I like the idea of doing green on the other side. Let's see how my green shows up. Oof, I definitely need to dip it and get some fresh green. Okay, might have to add some more green. This green is just so light. And there we go. You can see at least a hint of green over there, but I'd like it to be a little bit darker. So let's see if I can add just a touch more. There we go. That's definitely the color I was going for. Just kind of going back over the spots that the green didn't really show up as brightly. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back through and add some more of each color. Okay, starting with my red side. Getting a little red on there. Okay, switch over to my orange side. Oh, although, you know, I might end up using this for some yellow, so let me just dip and go for red. This might actually kind of help my light red. I mean, my light orange. There we go, nice. Now this orange is a little more vibrant because I blended it with my red. That really helps the orange pop a lot more than it did here. So I'm going to flip this over and use my yellow. Let's see if I can get this nice and coated with yellow. There we go. Nice. And then some more green. Okay. Now, the only section I haven't done is this section. So I think what I'm going to do is do a couple dots, different colors. Just like how I did some that were already yellow already. I'm gonna do some all different colors, and I think what I want to do is I just want to leave the background white. That way it really shows the colors that I chose. That really lets them pop. Okay. I'll switch that one to being red. I don't really have any blue in here, so let me add a little bit of blue. Do some teal. Do teal down here. And maybe right here. And then we'll switch it over. And we'll do some blue. There, now it's almost like a kind of circusy effect. Looks like lots of different colors. Alright, so now my Easter egg is all done. I've done a full watercolor paint of it. All I need to do now is just let it dry, and you might want to kind of hang it up somewhere, and this is something that can definitely, look at the back, that's kind of neat. That's definitely something you could maybe hang up on a window or on the fridge or in your room. It'll remind you of having a nice little Easter decoration. Okay, I'm going to write on mine, Happy Easter 2020. That way it reminds me the year that I made this. Happy Easter 2020. Alright. Bye, boys and girls.